Hello everyone, how are you? It's Kay. So this is the 29th of May on Sunday. So I will do the weekly forecast on Forex pairs and index and also gold and WTI, and then review the news for this week. So we have lots of topics to talk about, lots of pairs, markets to talk about. So let's get right into topics. Okay, so yeah, let me see. Let me change the screen. Okay, and as a quick disclaimer, as usual, this content is basically based on my own experience knowledge. So when you take trades, please do at your own risks. And also, since it's live, if you can please follow the rules and guidelines, that would be great. And also recently, there are fake accounts of mine using my name and creating some fake accounts, spamming others. So please be careful on social media. I have no Telegram, no Instagram, no Facebook, and I never sent direct messages to anyone. So please be careful. All right, so let's see who's here first. Let me say hi to everyone until I see more people here in the live. Okay, so yeah, Melon, thank you for joining. To see you here. And Libor, good to see you. Thank you for joining. Oh, Ozumaki Kazu, thank you for joining on my Ichimoku community. That's an interesting name. But thank you for joining as a new member of my Ichimoku community. So please come to my website. Once you click on the join button, come to my website and click on hover over services, Ichimoku community, and click how to join. And once you click it, there will be a new page, and you can follow these 3 simple steps to join the Discord group where you can see all the perks. So please do this, and hopefully you learn the essence of Ichimoku in my community. So once again, thank you for joining, and stay gold. Okay. So let's see. All right, Natapon, thank you for joining. Good to see you. And Buta and Elio, good to see you. Thank you for joining, and stay gold, Elio. All right, Dinesh, good to see you too. All right, H. Bashard, thank you for joining. And Sulaiman, good to see you again. Thank you for joining. And Rose, Mahardika, good to see you too. All right, TSM also, good to see you as always. Thank you for joining. And Gabby, good to see you too. Thank you for joining. And Ben, good to see you. And Maribeth also, thank you for joining. Oh, he says, thank you for your advice yesterday as a newbie. I'll keep watching your videos as a part of my learning process. Gambarimasu. Okay, yeah. Thank you for the words. Yes, please continue to learn, because consistency is a key to success. All right, and William, and Arnold, and Carbon Fibonacci, good to see you. And Augustine, TikTok, and Sami, thank you for joining also. And John Hera, KOM, Vinod, and Peter, good to see you too. All right, we have lots of people here today. Thank you for joining. Mahesh, and also Melanie, thank you for joining. And thank you for your support and timestamp as always. Thank you for joining. All right, and John Ong, good to see you too. Thanks for joining. Yes, I will check the Bitcoin after I cover the pairs and the index. So please stay tuned for this. All right, thanks for joining, everybody. Great to see you. There should be sound. Sound should be okay. Please check your speaker settings. Richard, good to see you. And Soma, Irina, also good to see you too. Thanks for joining. And Hussein, and good to see you. Faiz, and Ramin, Aung, Mr. Bonesbody, and MK, and Enrico, and Radko, good to see you. Okay, so now let me check some pairs on my watch list. So I will turn the page to the trading view. Okay, so every weekend I check the weekly and also the daily time frame. But since this is towards the end of the month, I will check the monthly and also the weekly time frame. So on the left, I put the monthly chart, and on the right, I put the daily chart, sorry, the weekly chart, and see which way the market is going overall. Because most likely the market follows the major direction. So if monthly is going down, then weekly and daily and lower time frames may follow the monthly trends, downtrend. If monthly is up, then most likely the lower time frames will follow the uptrend on the monthly. So since monthly candlestick is almost closing next Tuesday, so we'll check the monthly and weekly to see which way the market overall is going. So now I will cover all these pairs on my watch list, 21 pairs from Euro USD down to Swiss franc JPY. So please take a note and see which one is trending, which one is ranging on these two different time frames. So this is Euro USD. According to the monthly chart, this is bearish. You have the Kumo down, Kijun-sen, Tenkan-sen both pointing down, and Chikou span below candles. And we had the monthly support breakout in April. And May has been retracing backwards. But since this is still downtrending on the Ichimoku confirmations, this downtrend may persistent. So I still expect the market go down next month. So that's the Euro USD monthly. And as for the weekly chart, it's all flat. Kumo flat, Kijun-sen flat. And the market has retraced back to Tenkan-sen. So it may retrace back to Kijun-sen for next week. Sorry, so for this week. So monthly is going down. So overall is down. But we still may see some retracement back to Kijun-sen. So if you are an intraday to day trades, then the weekly Kijun-sen is going to be the target. So that level will be over here at the 1.0919 is going to be the target. So because it may retrace backwards still. Okay, so next one is Euro Pound. So Euro Pound has been range on the monthly and range on the weekly chart. So basically there's no trends, so we better stay away. And next one is Euro AUD pair. Euro AUD monthly shows bearish because the Kumo Senko span A is going down, Kijun-sen is going down, Tenkan-sen is also going down, and Chikou span below candles. And so monthly is down, but the weekly is now flat. It's retracing back to the Kijun-sen now. So from here, it may go down in the long term. So I put this arrow up because if the market breaks the Kijun-sen, then it may continue to retrace backwards. But overall is bearish. So it may be resisted by the Kijun-sen and go down is my view. So Euro AUD, I will be looking for the sell if the market continues to be below the Kijun-sen on the weekly. Okay, so next one is the Euro JPY. Euro JPY is now flat on the monthly chart. Flat Kumo, flat Kijun-sen, Tenkan-sen. So the market may retrace back to Tenkan-sen, Kijun-sen. So the month of June most likely will be bearish. And with that in mind, if I look at the weekly chart, again we have this Kumo Senko span B flat and also Kijun-sen flat. So it may retrace. So my view is bearish in this case. So if I see downtrend on the lower time frames, I will take it. Okay, so next one is Euro CAD. Euro CAD has been bearish on the monthly chart because Kumo is down, Kijun-sen is pointing down, Tenkan-sen is also pointing down, and Chikou span below the candles. And as for the weekly chart, this is bearish because the market is still below the Tenkan-sen. So I expect next week will be bearish. It will be resisted by the Tenkan-sen and go down. So if I see downtrend, I will continuously look for the sell chance. That's the Euro CAD. But if the market breaks the weekly Tenkan-sen, then it may retrace back to Kijun-sen. So I think the topic will be whether the market breaks Tenkan-sen or not on the weekly chart. And next one is Euro Swiss franc. Euro Swiss franc on the monthly is now range or retracing. So the market once touched the Tenkan-sen and then it's retracing backwards now. So it looks like there was a strong resistance here. And as per the weekly chart, there was a strong resistance over here. This part is the monthly wick, and this is almost a pin bar now. So if the market breaks the pin bar bearish, next month in June and July will be most likely be bearish. So I am waiting for the breakout of the support 1.0238 to break. And once it break out, I will continue to look for the sell chance. So sell will be my right call on the Euro Swiss franc. Okay, next one is the USD-JPY. The USD-JPY has been bullish on the monthly but retracing on the weekly chart. But still, we can see that this is bullish because the weekly has retraced back to Tenkan-sen, but Tenkan-sen is pointing up. So I expect the market goes up continuously in this way. However, if the market breaks the Tenkan-sen, then it may retrace back to Kijun-sen. And that's why I put this down arrow. If I switch down to the daily time frame, this is the support, 126.37. So once it breaks, then it may go down to the previous resistance or the weekly Kijun-sen. But still, as for now, this is bullish, so I will continuously look for the buying edge. Alright, next one is USD CAD. USD CAD has been flat on both time frames. In the monthly chart, Kumo is flat, Kijun-sen is pointing down, but since Kumo flat, this is a bit, maybe this may be fake. Yeah, whenever you see this, whenever you see this Kumo shape, I'm talking about this Senko span A, right? This Senko span A angle, you see Senko span A is pointing down, but this can be fake because it hasn't broken the previous Senko span A level yet over here. So I would wait for the Senko span A to break that level and then look for the selling edge. And most likely that will be the resistance by the previous resistances on the monthly, and the market may go down this way. So my view is bearish. So if I see downtrend sometime this week or next week, I will continuously look for the sell chance. Yeah, alright, so that's the USD CAD, right? And then the next one is the USD Swiss franc. This one is now retracing backwards. Monthly is range. Looks like the market was resisted by the Senko span B. There was a long wick and looks like it's going down. So I'm sell biased. And on the weekly chart, the market also is on the Kijun-sen now. So once the market breaks the Kijun-sen on the weekly, it can go down to the Kumo. So that's what I'm actually waiting for. So yeah, if I see downtrend on the lower time frames, I will look for the sell chance. That's the USD Swiss franc. So simply like this, whenever I see the bigger picture in the higher time frames, I check whether the market retraces back to Kijun-sen or trending up or down based on the Kumo Kijun-sen angles, and simply follow these directions on the lower time frames. And this is the reason why I check the monthly by the end of the month and weekly every weekend when the candlesticks are closing. So let me move on to the pound-based pairs. So the first one is the pound USD. Okay, pound USD on the monthly chart is now range. There's no direction, so we can't tell which way it's going. But there's a pin bar this month on the May, so it may retrace and goes back in price action. And if you look at the weekly chart, the market is still below the Tenkan-sen, but Kijun-sen is flat. That means the market can break the Tenkan-sen and retrace back to Kijun-sen. So my view is bullish right now. If it breaks the Tenkan-sen 1.2667 level, then I will look for the buy chance and target to the weekly Kijun-sen over here. 1.2950 is my target. Okay, so that is my trading plan on this pound USD. So now next one is the pound JPY. Yeah, pound JPY on the monthly is still bullish technically because there was this tricky wick pointing downwards, and I've seen that lots of people get caught by this, retracement last week or this month of May. But still, Kumo is bullish. Kijun-sen is pointing up, and it's about to break the Kumo, Chikou span above candles, and price above the Tenkan-sen. The monthly is bullish. And with that in mind, if you look at the weekly chart, Kijun-sen is flat, and but the price has once broke the Kijun-sen, but now it's coming back up Kijun-sen. So my view is bullish. It may be supported here and goes up this way. So if I see bullishness on the lower time frames, I will follow it. If it goes down, I don't follow. So next one is pound CAD. Right, pound CAD is now bearish on the monthly, but this is very close near the previous monthly support, which is all the way from 2019 August. So, but this is bearish, so I still expect the market goes down continuously. Kumo is going down. Kijun-sen, Tenkan-sen are down. Chikou span below candles. And as for the weekly chart, this is also bearish because the price is below the Tenkan-sen. So it may be resisted by the Tenkan-sen and continuously go down this way. We have the Senkou span A down also. So my view is still bearish on the pound CAD. Lower time frames shows bearish, so we can follow that. And the next one is pound AUD. Pound AUD's range on the monthly, range on the weekly, so no chance. I have no idea which way it's going. So whichever it goes, if I find it on the lower time frames, I will take it. Otherwise, I will stay away. The next one is pound Swiss franc. Weekly is now down, but monthly is flat. So we can follow the weekly downtrend. Now Kumo is down. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, so now Kumo Senkou span B is down, A is down. Kijun-sen, Tenkan-sen both bearish, and Chikou span below candles. So I expect this week and next week will be downtrend. So I continuously look for the sell chance on pound Swiss franc. And then next one is AUD USD, right? AUD USD, monthly is flat, weekly is also flat, retracing back to Kijun-sen. So in the short term, this is bullish. So if you're taking the buy, then the target is going to be 0.7246, which is the weekly Kijun-sen. Every time the market takes off from Kijun-sen, it tends to come back. So this time, it went off from Kijun-sen and looks like it's retracing back to Kijun-sen. So we have still some pips to trade. From here, we have about 90 pips to trade, which is, I think, enough. So that will be the AUD USD. If I see bullishness on the lower time frames, then I will follow it. And next one is AUD CAD. Okay, this one is flat on the monthly, flat on the weekly. So I guess I will just skip this one. No direction, so no trace. And then next one is the AUD JPY, right? AUD JPY is still bullish on the weekly because Kumo is bullish, Senkou span A is bullish, Kijun-sen, Tenkan-sen are also bullish, Chikou span above candles. And weekly chart, 2 weeks back, on the week of 9th of May, the market has supported by the Kijun-sen and looks like it's going up. So if I see bullishness sometime this week or next week, I will look for the buying edge. So yeah, AUDJPY for me is buy biased. Alright, so let me move on to the next pair. We have 4 more pairs to cover. So next one is the AUD Swiss franc. Our monthly is flat completely and weekly is also flat. This is almost going into Kumo now, and I don't like these wicks up and downwards. This is very tricky market, so most likely I will stay away from this one. And next one is CAD JPY. This one is bullish both on the monthly and weekly, so I will continue to look for the buying edge. Yeah, monthly Kijun Sen is pointing up. It broke the previous resistance 97.80 and looks like it's going up continuously. And also in terms of the weekly chart, Kijun Sen is flat, but the price is above the Tenkan Sen, so it's bullish still. But if the market breaks the Tenkan Sen, then the market can go back to the weekly Kijun Sen. So that means if the market breaks the support 97.80, then I will look to sell. Otherwise, I will still buy biased. And next one is CAD Swiss franc. This one is flat on the monthly chart. And also monthly chart shows a long wick. So there was a strong resistance over here around 0.7811 level. And on the weekly chart has retraced back to Kijun Sen. So from here, it may bounce and goes up. So yeah, my view is still bullish, but not sure because yeah, CAD Swiss franc has been kind of spiky on the lower time frames too. So I don't feel really positive to trade on this one. Recently, I have been away from the Swiss franc pairs. So although I see some trends on the Swiss franc pairs, I'm away. So I guess, yeah, I guess I will just stay away from this one too. Looks like it's a bit tricky. The market has been tracing back for the last 2 weeks. So yeah, I think this is a bit tricky. And lastly, Swiss franc JPY. This is still bullish. Monthly chart shows the market above the Tenkan Sen, and weekly shows it's also above the Tenkan Sen. So it's bullish, so I will continuously look for the buying edge. So that covers the whole watch list on my Forex pairs. So now let me move on to gold and WTI. The commodity XAU USD. Again, I will cover monthly and weekly time frames to see overall which way it's going in the long term. So according to the monthly chart, I can see that the market has been supported by the Kijun Sen. So this is still bullish in my eyes. This is bullish. Senko span A is also pointing up. Kijun Sen is also pointing up. And Chikou span technically above the candles, so it's bullish. Right? And also, let's see, I think, yeah, I think weekly is now range. Yeah, it has retraced all the way back to, yeah, back to Kumo. And now for the last 2 weeks has been bullish, but no decent directions. So for me, this is still bullish, but it may not go up in the short term. So yeah, if I see bullishness in the lower time frames, I might capture it. But for now, I prefer to stick to Forex pairs to trade. And let me cover WTI also. Yeah, WTI monthly is bullish, but what we have here is the engulfing candlestick. This is engulfing inside bar. So the market can be spiky within the inside bars for the previous 2 candles. And according to the weekly chart, this is also bullish, but since this is range, it may go down anytime. So in this case, I will prefer to stay away or follow the lower time frame trends. If the market breaks the previous doji on the weekly, I'm talking about the previous week's doji here, the resistance is 115.57, and if it breaks, the market may go up to the week high. That will be the target, but we'll see. It may be resisted and go backwards. So yeah, if it breaks, that will be a good chance, but otherwise, no trade for me. So now let me cover some index. So Nikkei 225 monthly is, let's see, Kijun Sen is pointing up and Kumo is pointing up, Senko Span A is pointing up. But again, just as we saw previously, this Senko Span A angle can be fake and Kijun Sen angle can be fake because this is flat Kumo. So yeah, it may continue to retrace or range. And as per the weekly chart, this one is also range, so no direction. This is P wave and no direction in the market. And let me check the Dow Jones. Dow Jones is now bullish on the monthly chart because we have this Senko Span A angle is bullish, and Kijun Sen is also pointing up, Chikou span above candles. But on the weekly is now range. The market went into Kumo. Last week was huge bullish candle. But yeah, it may retrace back to Kijun Sen, but overall is range on the weekly or a bit retracing backwards. So we have this consecutive bearish N waves like this. So this is bearish in price action, so it may go down. Yeah, so in the short term, this is, you can follow lower time frames, but in the long term, we can't tell which way it's going. Yeah, at least monthly is bullish, so overall is bullish, but it may take time for the lower time frames to be stably bullish on this way. And the next one is yeah, Nasdaq, right? Nasdaq is also, weekly is now bearish, and monthly is also range, so it may go down continuously. Kumo is down, Kijun Sen down, so it's bearish right now. Okay, and the S&P 500, Kumo Senko Span A is retracing, so this Kijun Sen angle can be fake. The market can continuously be down. And the weekly shows it's also below the Kumo, technically. And Kijun Sen, Tenkan Sen are flat, so this is bearish. It may be resisted by either Senko Span A or Kijun Sen, Tenkan Sen and go down this way. So we had bullish week this week on S&P, but it may go down this week or next week. So still be careful. If you hold the buy, then when you see retracement, you better exit, in my opinion. And the next one is Euro stocks. Euro stocks has been also range in the monthly, a bit retracing on the monthly chart. And weekly shows a range, P wave. So we have to simply wait for the P wave break towards either direction. Talking about the P wave like this. So we have to wait for the break and follow that direction. Looks like it's almost breaking the P wave bullish, but we have to wait for the clear break to buy. And then Kijun Sen is very close. Senko Span A is also very close. So yeah, I'm not sure if even after the P wave break, it may retrace backwards soon. So yeah, overall it's still range. Okay, and then FTSE 100 is monthly is now bullish. Finally, so Chikou span came up above the candles, and Senko Span A is pointing up. Kijun Sen is also pointing up, and weekly is very close to resistance, so it may break bullish this week or next week. But to be able to buy, we have to wait for the Kijun Sen, we have to wait for the resistance break. So yeah, let's see, but it may happen this week, and then we may see a good setup to buy afterwards. And the next one is CAC Krans. CAC Krans monthly Kijun Sen looks good, it's bullish, but you see the Kumo is flat, Senko Span A hasn't broken the previous Senko span A level yet. So this is considered to be flat Kumo. So it may continue to retrace. Weekly is now exactly in the Kumo. So yeah, technically there is no direction. And DAX 40 is now also range on the monthly, range on the weekly. So no direction. In terms of the price actions, it broke the previous doji. So in the short term, it's bullish. But we have big resistance here, and also Senko span A on the weekly, so it may retrace backwards anytime. Okay, then Nifty chart. Nifty is now bullish on the monthly chart. The Senko span A is bullish. Kijun-sen is also bullish. Chikou span above candle, so it's bullish. So weekly chart shows range within the Kumo. So, but if we see bullishness on the daily chart, we can continue to look to buy chance. And the next one is AU200. Yeah, this one is also bullish on the monthly, but range on the weekly. But last week was bullish. And I think last week bullish candle is significant because it broke the previous two dojis. So yeah, I think AU200 can be continuously bullish this week and next week. So I'm buy biased on this one. And then lastly, Hang-Seng Index. Hang-Seng has been down on the monthly, down on the weekly. So it may continuously go down as I put the arrow last week. Okay, so that covers the whole index on my watch list. So now let me review the news for this week and then go into some free discussions. I will start to cover some comments. Oh, and then I will cover Bitcoin also because I know there are lots of crypto traders in my community. So here is the calendar economy, and let me put this on this week. So time flies. We are going into June now. So any plans in June? Okay, so here is Monday. Tomorrow we have one big news, Euro. And in Germany there is a CPI. So Euro pairs can be affected by this. And then moving on to Tuesday, we have GDP in Switzerland and HACP in Euro. So it may be affected by this. And also Canada, there's a GDP also. And then Wednesday, June 1st, another GDP in Australia. And then retail sales in Germany. And then also, ISM, manufacturing PMI in the US. And then rate decision, rate statement in Canada. So yeah, Wednesday, June 1st will be a big day. We have big news on 3 currencies. And then Tuesday, June 2nd, we have trade balance in Australia and ADP employment change in the US. So ADP, sometimes ADP report can affect market very much. So you have to watch out definitely on this one. And then Friday, we have non-farm payrolls in the US. And then retail sales in Euro, and then ISM services PMI in the US. So we have to be careful on the NFP this week. So that's the whole review on the news this week. But yeah, looks like market has been quite ranging and tricky. Even the market breaks, it goes backwards very quickly this week. So I think it was a bit tricky, but yeah, we'll see which way it goes in the long term. We have to always think long-term trends, long-term directions, and trade towards that directions. Okay, so now let me see. So how's everything going with you, everyone? I hope you're having great weekend, great Sunday, and be ready to trade this week. Yeah, let's see. All right, thanks for joining, everybody. Great to see you here. Oh, Sammy, thank you for the reminder, for the like button. So if you liked it so far, please press the like button before you leave. That would be great. That it keeps me going. Thank you for that. And TSM also, thank you for the like button, comment. All right, thank you for joining everybody. Great to see you here. So let me pick some comments here now. Oh, Elaroin says, hi Kay, I just wanted to say thank you always. I watch your YouTube channel. I learned a lot from you about the market, but I don't use your strategy. For Ichimoku, I created my own price action strategy. Okay, sure. You can use any strategies because strategies are just strategies and nothing is perfect. So, but at least if you can learn something new on my live streams, that is my purpose. So you can add, you don't have to use my strategy, but you can add my mindset, my risk management, the way I read the directions, price actions, and take it into your strategy and create your own. So because my wish is to be successful on anyone who watches my live streams and videos. But yeah, thank you for the comment. Thank you so much. Okay, Crypto Bit says, hi Kay, do you feel all the hours you spent watching charts in the past has helped you understand charts better now? Yes, definitely. Definitely. Without spending time in seeing charts, watching charts every day for the last 9 years, I wouldn't be able to do these right now. So definitely helped. But not only that, I do backtesting. I practice on the backtest by running a tester and observe these patterns in the markets. So yeah, mastery never comes in one day. It happens over time. So the key point is not to give up. If you don't give up, then at some point something clicks in your mind and these dots can be connected and you can draw some picture. But for now, if you're still losing, if you're still newbie, these bits of information might be also still dots for you. But if you know how to connect these dots, then you can, visualize a bigger picture, and it helps you a lot to see overall market conditions. So the things I talk every day on my YouTube is I think not for the new traders, but this is a bit advanced traders because I do this. I use Ichimoku Kinko-hyo. Ichimoku Kinko-hyo itself is not that easy to understand fully. But not only that, I use Ichimoku in the multiple time frames, and I also take price actions and lines and other tools to analyze and entries and exits. So the way I trade, the way I see charts, I think for somebody is a bit advanced, a bit confusing. But yeah, this is actually based on my experience for the last 9 years. If I haven't watched the markets every day, there was no way to create my own strategy and use this every day, every month to make profits. So yeah, definitely yes to your question. Okay, so let's see. Thank you for joining everybody. Great to see you. Okay, Dao says, hi Kay, which trading session should be traded in the 3 sessions, Tokyo, London, New York? I recommend the London session to trade because it tends to be active in the London session. And then New York takes over London, and New York also tends to be active also. But maybe not the Asian Tokyo session. Usually the markets are quiet in Tokyo session. So you can actually start to check charts before the London Open, because sometimes the market starts to be active before that happens. So towards the end of Tokyo, you come back to chart and see charts, and see which one is active. Okay. Oh, John Harris says crude oil is close to reaching the resistance line. How do you see the monthly or weekly chart? Yeah, so crude oil again is yes, it's very close to monthly resistance. Weekly resistance also here too. So like I mentioned, I would wait for this previous doji break, previous weekly doji break, and follow uptrend up to the monthly resistance, which is 129.50. So I will just put the arrow up like this. After the breakout, now the trend may start and goes up to here. This is my view. So let me delete the previous arrow. Okay. And this is where price action becomes very important. You know, just because Ichimoku says bullish, you never want to buy. You have to always look at the price action and resistance supports and see you have some trading edge to buy by these confirmations. Okay, so now let me check the Bitcoin. Okay, I have few requests about the Bitcoin because I know there are some crypto traders here. So as for the Bitcoin, let me first check the daily time frame, because Bitcoin has still short history as compared to other markets. I think daily analysis still works. So as for the daily chart, the market is still range, no direction. So yeah, no direction. So as I mentioned previously, we have to wait for the breakout towards either direction. Let me put this on one screen. So here is the daily time frame, and we have to wait for the breakout of the resistance or support. Oh, and I just noticed that now there is another inside bar. Another inside is happening. So if you see this inside breakout, the market may go up to the resistance. But if it breaks bearish support, then it may go down all the way to the tip of the wick over here. That is possible too. So for now, if this were the Forex pair, I would stay away because there is no trend. So even if I buy or sell, it doesn't really go anywhere. So you may have to check charts every once in a while, and you may see losing pips or winning pips, and you may be a bit frustrated because the market doesn't go anywhere. So instead of holding the position in the range, I prefer to stay away from this one. Yeah, Kijun Sen is flat. Kijun Sen is flat, so it may retrace back to Kijun Sen if it breaks the doji, engulfing and the previous resistance. Okay. All right, next question from Elio. He says, S&P Kumo is thin, so does that mean weak bearish? All right, let me double check. S&P, and we were looking at the weekly and monthly. So I think you're talking about the weekly S&P, right? Yes, weekly S&P is very small. Before it was also very thin, and now Senkou Span AB are flat. And Kijun Sen, Tenkan Sen are also flat. So this is basically range. The market retracing backwards, so it may touch Kijun Sen, Tenkan Sen, and then, or Senkou Span A, and then retrace backwards. And in this case, this small Kumo does not really mean anything. This only simply shows that this is a range market in the long term. Yeah. Last week was bullish though. If we see lower time frames, like the daily time frame, it broke the Kijun Sen, So yeah, this is bullish. It was also a neckline breakout of double bottom of 4095.7. So looks like this is bullish still. It may retrace and be supported at the previous resistance support, and then it goes up in this way. This is for the short-term analysis. Okay, so yeah, hopefully we see some big trends this week or next week, especially this week, and also next week we have big news. So these big news can change the the direction, the whole direction of the market. So we'll see if we have some active and trending markets this or next week. Okay, Biggie says, hi Kay, what do you do when the direction of Ichimoku lines are opposite to the direction of price movement, even on the daily or weekly? If you see that, then you better follow the Ichimoku direction. Yeah, price movement can be fake and Ichimoku directions can be true. So I would follow the Ichimoku direction in that case. But it depends on where the price is. So for example, in this case, you see Kumo is down, Senko span A is pointing down. Kijun-sen is also pointing down. But in this case, I don't follow these angles because it broke the Kijun-sen. But if the price was below the Kijun-sen, then I will still follow it. So if the price is in between Kijun-sen and Kumo, then never trust these angles. I think this is only exception. And also, when Chikou span touching, you can't trust Kumo Kijun-sen angles. Otherwise, the price should be resisted by the Kijun-sen and continuously go down this way. So, and it doesn't matter whether it's a daily or weekly chart. This applies on any time frames. So, whether it's a daily or weekly, the price should be below the Kijun-sen if it's bearish, Kumo bearish Kijun-sen to be trustable. Okay, Mr. Bones Body says, can you have a look at NVDA, please? Okay, sure, let me check that. I don't think I ever checked that before, so let me see. Is that the ticker symbol? NVDA. Okay, NVDA Corporation. Let me check the monthly chart first, as monthly chart is almost closing in 2 days. So the price is below the Kijun-sen now, so this is bearish. At a glance, it's bearish ever since the December last year. So it may go down continuously is my view on the monthly. And then if I look at the weekly chart, now this is range. Yeah, it's range. Kumo has twisted bearish. Kijun-sen is pointing down. Chikou span below candles. So the price is been range for the last 3 weeks, but I can still see that the sellers are dominant than the buyers. So it can go down anytime, is my view. Okay, and then break it down to the daily time frame. Yeah, it's range also. The price is above Kijun-sen. So you can't trust this Senko span A, Kijun-sen angles anymore. This is now bullish. It also broke the double bottom and neckline, just like S&P. So it may continue to be bullish. But since monthly and weekly has been bearish, at some point it may be resisted and go down. And that resistance may happen at the Senko span A or the previous resistance level 204.70 and go down this way. So yeah, or it may be range. It may range for a couple more days. Yeah, but when market directions are different from higher to lower time frames, basically the market spikes because there's a fight between the big time frame traders and small time frame traders. So in this case, for example, big time frame traders are selling it. So sellers are still dominant on the monthly traders and also the weekly traders. Sellers are still dominant. Sellers are making profits. But in the daily time frame, buyers started to make profits right now. So that's why the market broke the Kijun-sen and it may go up to Kumo here or the previous resistance level. So this is where the sellers on the weekly and monthly and the buyers on the daily or lower time frames are happening. And that's why the market tends to spike. So yeah, when I see this on the Forex, I simply stay away because you might get stopped out easily in this kind of a situation. So you have to put the stop loss wide, or you have to exit in the long term, I think. Okay, so again, thank you for joining everybody. Great to see you here. All right. Okay, let's see. Oh, Oz says, Dear K, may I ask you a personal question? Yeah, if it's not too personal, then it's okay. He says, in one of your past videos, you say that your parents are not really happy with your profession as a trader. Is it still the case? Yeah, that is true. That is still the case. They still think that it's gambling, so they don't trust the consistency on the trades, and that's because they lost, or their parents and their grandparents lost all the money in stock trades and real estate investments. Yeah, so that's why they have some bad experience in the investments. So that's why every time they hear something investment, Forex technically is not an investment, but Forex is a trade. But every time they hear words investment or trades, they think it's negative feelings to it. That's why they don't simply happy with that. Yeah, so and also my father was big in educational field. He's a professor of the university, and he always wanted me to have good career, good university name, and a good career, stable job, stable income. He was always saying that. So I'm actually going opposite right now. Yeah. For trading, I have been trading for the last 9 years, and for the last 6 years has been profitable. So in that sense, I'm stable, but as compared to the ordinary job, it may not be so stable. Because sometimes we see some range market, like in the month of May, I only took 3 trades. I am profitable still, but I only took 3 trades, and I don't really make profits that much. And this happens. But like in March or April, I gain like 60% return. So in that sense, it's unstable. But if you have 10% in average every month or 20% in average every month, that's already enough, right? So I think the mindset is a bit different from the full-time worker and full-time trader in terms of making money and making profits. We have to see bigger picture always as a trader in performance. Okay. So yeah, let's see. So I think, but I think this is kind of common in any regions. Usually, parents, I think maybe especially Asian countries, parents tends to be happy if you have a stable job in a big company. So. Okay, let me check some other questions now. So Arne says, hi, if you can use daily time frame only, what would be good buy and sell trading signals you think? If you use only the daily time frame, buying selling can be based on the price action and lines. If you see downtrend on the Ichimoku Kinko Hyo, then you can capture the entry edges on the price actions and the lines. Resistance line breakout, support level breakout, or a trend line bounce. With price action, you can trade. Because Ichimoku can capture a nice trending market, but the thing is that you can't really see exactly where to enter markets. Technically, you can trade on the bounce of the Tenkan-sen, Kijun-sen, for example, but it may be fake. It may break and then goes down, like in these examples. Here, there was a Tenkan-sen break, and then the market went backwards. Here too, there was a Tenkan-sen break, and then it goes down this way. So you can't fully trust the Tenkan-sen, Kijun-sen resistances unless it happens over time. If it happens 3 times before, then next time it may be trustable. But if it happens only once like this previously, you can't really trust the future bounces. So in this case, you draw the descending trend line, for example, and you can take sell on these bounces like this. That's one way to do. Or you look at the price actions. For example, on the last bounce, you see the breakout of the Tenkan-sen, but this was a doji, and then the next day there was a bearish candlestick. So this is called the doji reverse. And when you see this next day or next day, you can take sell and hold until it retraces backwards. Most likely this will be the break even, but technically you can do that too. Here too, there was after you see the market came below the Tenkan-sen, there was a doji, and next day there was a doji break, so you can sell and you can hold until it goes up again. So that's how you can do. You can combine Ichimoku confirmations and the price actions and lines is my advice. And this is actually what also Goichi Hoso said. He says also you can't really depend on the Ichimoku confirmations to trade. You have to always look at the price actions also to trade. Okay. Yeah, Mr. Bronze Body, you're welcome. My pleasure to do this. Oh, Keomi says, yeah, first year traded and lost. My parents kicked me out too. Yeah. So you have to do it with your own fund. Never borrow some money from parents to trade. You never do that. You save money for yourself and trade with your own money. Yeah, because psychology will be also very different. When you borrow money from bank or friends or someone else and trade versus you trade with your own money, the psychology will be very much different. Yep. Okay. Oh, Elio says, I'm a father of teenagers. It's difficult, but they have to find their way. And as a parent, you always worry about them. Yeah, I think that's the norm, I think. Yeah. So at least if you can prove yourself that you're making profits every month, every year, or you can prove yourself that your strategy works, then I think that's the only way that you can do to your parents. And for me, right? For me, it doesn't really matter if my parents agrees or not on what I do. Whatever they say, if I'm okay, if I'm convinced, if I'm confident to do on my way, then I just do it. And yeah, I don't necessarily have to get agreement with my parents because I'm adult, I'm not a kid anymore, so you know, we can do anything we want basically. Just respect your parents in a common sense, but you don't have to strictly follow what they say. Okay. Okay, so let me check some other comments now. Thank you for the comments, everyone. And great to see you. I do see all the comments, but I'm just specifically picking some comments that are related to Forex. But I do appreciate your comments too. I always enjoy conversations, comments, as always. Okay, Biggie says, hi Kei, which of the Ichimoku lines give a reliable resistance and support zones, and what time frame will that be, please? So that will be Kijun Sen on the daily chart. Kijun Sen daily chart is the base of the market. So yeah, when the market is away from the Kijun Sen, it goes back to Kijun Sen on the daily, better than the weekly or the lower time frames. And it works as a resistance support on the daily Kijun Sen more than other time frames, based on my observations. Yep. Okay, Mahardika also says, same happened to me. My parents think trading is like gambling. I cannot say anything because I'm still a newbie, but I encourage my 15-year-old son to learn trading, and he's learning too. Yeah, that's good. That's good. You can train your son to be a good trader because, yeah, I think teaching trading is good to your children or to anyone because it doesn't only teach them how to trade, but also it teaches how to be disciplined and how to follow rules, how to avoid not to do's, and how to wait. They can cultivate the patience. So in that sense, I think it's good too. And plus, you can encourage them to make profits in trades. So yeah, trading is just like the sports, I would say. Sports, or like sports combined with the meditation. Like, you have to train, you have to have the basics first, and based on that basics, you have to train, you have to practice, and go to game. And this is not the game team play game, but this is like one single play games, just like tennis. And you play by your own skill, and you may lose, you may win, but the journey just goes on. So you have to keep going. And you learn based on your own experience, based on your losses, what was wrong, what was right. You analyze yourself and just keep going. And basically, that's the only thing you can do in trading. There is no holy grail. There is no way to win 100%. Sometimes it looks like 100%, but it won't in the future, for sure. So yeah, I think this journey never ends. So I think to learn that, I think it's good for the children. Yeah. And also it can train you also. After I master the strategy, after I master my trading, I became good at, for example, chess I became good at deciding things. Like when I come to Dubai, I plan ahead. I didn't come to Dubai just because I wanted to. I plan ahead for 5 years and I get the visa. I visited Dubai 3 times before I come here just to see town, just to see how people are, where to live and so on. And then, I plan ahead to do. I've tested it and planned ahead and came here. And then I'm also doing my trials and errors in Dubai. So because of this mindset that I learned in trading, I feel comfortable to keep surviving on the new circumstances. So for me, whatever I do in the future, something new in the future, I'm pretty confident that I can do well because of this concept. I never jump into new things. I never jump into the experience. I always do research, plan ahead, and take little by little until I take fully. So I think everything is connected. The mindset and is connected to anything you do. Okay. All right. Yeah, but it's been a long journey actually. 9 years. I can't believe I have been trading for the last 9 years. And I never know how many times I thought I would be quitting it. But somehow I didn't. And then I became good at trading. So never give up is the message I wanted to give to everyone. Okay, so I guess I will be ending the live. I see many comments still, but sorry, I have to go. So I unfortunately have to end the live. But after I finish the live, come back to this chat and I will enjoy your comments. So again, thank you for joining everybody and thank you for attending this, supporting this live stream. Without your supports, I won't be able to do this on my YouTube channel every week. So I really appreciate. So I will see you on the next one. And until then, please stay healthy and stay safe and stay gold. All right. Bye for now, everyone. Mata ne. Thank you.